Hey guys, so in this gameplay episode we'll be playing some Subnautica. Let's just start off with, the basics.
Launch in
Sitting
3,
down,
2,
chair,
1.
escape pod. And there goes our ship. That's not very good, because, now we can't escape at all. And I got knocked out. Great. Oh, and by the way, this is definitely not my first playthrough, so I know most of the routine when starting up a new survival Subnautica world, I guess. Save file.
You have
So,
minor
as
head
we
trauma.
load in
This is
to our
an optimal
Altera
outcome.
PDA,
This PDA has now rebooted in emergency
we
mode with one
have
directive
our fire
to keep you
extinguisher,
alive on an alien
as
world.
usual.
Please refer to the data bank for detailed survival advice. Good luck.
So, you can see what we need to see for the repair tool. And we'll just go at the bottom since that's the easiest and quickest way to get stuff.
The Aurora suffered orbital hull failure.
So, you should probably take a good look around your surroundings to see if there are any shipwrecks. And I don't know if you saw, but there is a shipwreck. Like, over, the way that I was facing right then, that's where the shipwreck
New
is.
creature discovered.
Got some food. And some metal salvage, which is going to be pretty much a necessity. Yeah, I didn't know that you could actually hold metal salvage until I think it was a day or two ago. It was sometime not too long ago that I actually learned that you could have metal salvage in your hand. So it's pretty cool that they have that, and if you didn't know, it's actually for a very important resource, which most Subnautica players know as a stalker tooth, which is a very important thing that you need for enameled glass, which is also a resource that you can use for many things, like rooms or machines. And for people who know what Subnautica is and know a bit about Subnautica, you probably know the Seamoth. And one of the upgrades for it requires a name of glass. So yeah, and if you have metal salvage in your hand, then you drop it in front of a stalker, it actually drops a stalker tooth. I don't know how I never noticed that, but I just never did.
Oxygen.
And when I was looking down, I was looking to see some brain coral, which is a special coral that's very useful because it can help you find, help you get oxygen. And with the oxygen, obviously, you don't have to go back up for air. So it's a pretty good thing that it's extremely common. I don't think you'll find it in any of the later stages of the game. And here we go, more metal salvage. I actually don't remember why I paused it, but... Alright, so now that we're back from that, I was probably checking the recording settings because I've tried recording this a couple of times before, but I have just found out that the reason they weren't coming out properly was because I didn't have it set to my external drive on my Xbox, so it wouldn't actually record for too long. It would record for about 5 minutes at most,
organisms while disposing of the skeletal
which
structure,
obviously isn't very good,
and internal
since
organs, thus rendering
you
them safe for human
need a much
consumption.
longer time to
Weapons were
actually
removed
record
from
a
standard
YouTube video.
survival blueprints following the massacre on Abraxas Prime. The knife remains the only exception.
Underneath that cooked peeper, got our knife. We have to store those because those take up the same amount of space that a metal salvage does. So, yeah. And speaking of metal salvage, we have to go look for some. Right after I thought I was going to go try to get these peepers. But see, this is actually what I was talking about. The brain coral, it actually gives up air bubbles. And it's pretty cool.
New creature discovered.
It's a very useful tool for when you're like
They have unexpected
exploring and
applications.
going around.
Utilizing alien resources is a proven
Let's see what we
survival
get out of here.
strategy.
Some copper.
Copper
Very,
is an
that's
essential
really
component
useful.
of all powered equipment. Your probability of survival
As you can
has
see
just
right there,
increased to unlikely,
that's a
but
wreck.
plausible.
And wrecks there. Pretty important.
Oxygen.
Now, I could have just gone up to the surface, and I probably would have made it, but I just went down for the brain coral. And I mean, I guess this was the best decision, because you can't always make it up in time in the beginning of the game, so it's a very common way to die in the game. Since you only have 45 oxygen, and I think that's 45 seconds of oxygen. But it might not be. And that should give us our final component for that repair tool that we need. Now we just need a bit more oxygen so that way we don't drown. And there we go. Let's head back. And those fish, they actually explode. So it's they don't do a lot of damage, but if you're low enough on health, you can actually die from them.
Local cave systems. Sulfur is an essential component.
And they're actually pretty quick, so it's really hard to swim away from them, which very much sucks. So I don't know. I can't believe that. I don't think anyone has ever died from one of those crabfish, I think they're called, because there's a weapon in the game where it freezes life forms, but they can still explode. And in this cave, there was a poor choice of a cave to go into, since, you know, there are about 3 of those exploding fish. And this wasn't even useful because you can't even get the sulfur out of it. So that was kind of annoying, knowing that I keep losing health because of those fish, and one of them couldn't even give me one material that I needed. So now we're gonna head back to our life pod, which is pretty much our home until you make a home. So yeah, and I played this game for probably about half an hour, so it's not too bad. And you can also change the colors of your waypoints. I usually do that later on in the game, but I just felt like doing it right then and there. And since I usually think the life pod is orange, but it's actually not, it's mostly white. So I usually just make the life pod orange. I guess I think it's orange because of the floaters. And that would be a pretty bad idea to make a cooked bladderfish because they don't give you that much food and they're a better water source. There we go. We finally got some batteries, which means we can make a couple of pretty important things. Like one of the most important things, if not the most important thing in Subnautica. Probably the most important thing in Subnautica, actually, the scanner. Because without the scanner, you can't do anything. But let's listen to this radio.
Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9 hours. Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.
Alright, now that that message is over with, I was trying to sort out my hotbar, and you can never have too much titanium. And we need glass for a flashlight, which is another important thing. So we'll make the scanner, then we have the flashlight,
and to record alien biological data.
Now we just gotta sort the whole hotbar. I also like to have the survival knife in front first, so that way in case I really need it, I can just go to my first spot, boom. And I actually never thought of this, but in theory, couldn't you just make like 5 survival knives and then have all of those in your hotbar, so that way, if you really need it, you can just go over to one and then boom, you're done. Now, you see the beacon, it's pretty much what it says. It keeps a beacon is pretty much just a thing that keeps your position, like keeps a position. You can also color them. And the little ball thing that we just scanned was a grav trap. I doubt I'll ever use it, but if you guys think that I should use it, then I'll definitely make it.
New blueprint acquired.
Even though I never use it, so I don't really find it helpful at all. And yeah. So if you actually scan something that you have already scanned, and hopefully we don't drown. No, we don't I think we should head over to the life pod soon. After we try to scan this fish, I thought that we were going to try to scan it, but I guess not. So, let's go up for oxygen. And go through the bottom. Don't know why I prefer going through the bottom instead of the top, because it really has no use. I mean, I guess going through the top, you have to go through the ladder climbing animation. So, yeah. I guess it would take a little longer instead of just going to the bottom and going through the hatch. And it doesn't take up too much time. It's just something that I prefer doing. And now, the air bladder, it's actually pretty useful, since it allows you to quickly rise up to the surface if you need to. So, it's pretty important. And I guess that habitat builder will be the goal for this episode, or the beginning of next episode, if you guys actually want to see a second episode. Because I would absolutely love to do a second episode of this game. This game is so much fun. And next episode, if we do one, it would be probably about building a base and giving it some power. So, let's go exploring. And in these crates, you also find fragments. Like, as you can see there, we found a sea glider. It's like a miniature sea moth. And it's pretty good, except the difference between a sea moth and a sea glider is that the sea moth actually gives you oxygen. And this was not my smartest idea at all. And I thought, oh hey, it hasn't sprayed me yet, so I'll be fine logically to scan this. But I should have known that I would not be okay. And that's the first death of our episode. And hopefully last. But it probably won't be. And you have the chance to actually die and lose some of your stuff. Like, you don't lose, it's not like Minecraft or a different game or any different other games where you lose all your stuff in your inventory. You only lose like your ores and stuff, and it says you lose some belongings, but you pretty much lose everything in your inventory, and you keep like one or two things. It's pretty annoying, because then you have to go back and pick all of it up. And as I said before, it's not like Minecraft where you can just walk over it either, or swim over it in this case, and pick it up. You have to actually manually pick it up, like with a button. So, if you didn't see that, that was a creep vine, or seaweed pretty much. And this biome, it's pretty important, since you can get those creep vine seed clusters, and creep vine in general, which can be used for fiber mesh, which can be used for medkits and medkit fabricators. The audio might not be syncing up with the footage, which I just noticed. So that's not very good. But I think in this playthrough, I'll try to scan as much stuff as I can.
Oxygen.
I really hope I don't drown from this. Nah, I won't. I wonder why the audio's not synced up with the footage. Because now that's really bugging me. Oh, whatever. I'll just try to ignore it. I think here I was checking the recording to make sure that it was still
Life on this
recording.
planet grows in unusually distinct and diverse ecological biomes. Further study recommended.
Now, watch me as I try to go risk my life to scan this shark thing, stalker. There we go. And I think we get our first stalker tooth in this episode. Yeah, definitely. I had no concern for my oxygen, as you can see. I think we're gonna drown, because we're 20 meters. Nope. No, we're not. We're not even gonna let the screen go black. Alright, now we go back down. And, of course, the stalkers are probably gonna have swum away by now. And we actually found a stalker tooth. I'm very surprised. I didn't think that there would be one here. Because, I mean, it takes a while, and I didn't even know that they could... I mean, yeah, I actually knew that they could spawn
New blueprint
in the wild.
acquired.
Because, you know, they have to if you want to try to find them. But I never knew that, like, it would spawn right in front of you. I thought it would spawn, like, maybe while you're a little farther away. And, yes, I did do that in order to try to, you know, just give you a little scare that I was going to drown. But I wasn't. So, I think I was looking to... Yeah, I think I was looking to drop the beacon. Even though I could have just done it from my inventory. It would have been a smarter option, but... whatever. I have no idea why it turned like that. But it did. And... okay, you guys can't see the keyboard, so you won't know what I would be naming it. And as you can see in the corner, my oxygen is obviously depleting. And I was trying to name it before my oxygen completely ran out, but it was taking too long. And I was going to drown if I didn't stop. And that would not be very good to die twice. And if you didn't know, on Xbox, when you're typing, it doesn't give you an option to, like, save what you wrote. No, you have to delete it all. Or, to my knowledge, you have to delete it all and then retype it over again. So that was kind of annoying. And then I noticed my oxygen was getting low again, so I just... and these beacons actually have a very limited amount of space to ride on. So I had to put it as CV. And I think we should swim over to our life pod. Maybe get a good look of our beacon from there. Don't remember why I was going down. That doesn't seem very smart. Maybe I was trying to go for the table coral? But then again, I could have just swam towards it. Forgot that I had scanned the gasopod. Alright. everything seems to be synced back up. I had a bit of trouble there. Oh right, I came back for this radio message.
This is Lifepod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
Signal location
So,
uploaded
I
to
guess
PDA.
we'll go check that out in the next episode too, since we don't have the time for that. I know I could just eat it right there and not have to go through all of that, but I don't know why I did that actually. And this waterproof locker, it's basically just a storage. I was kind of hoping that it would rise to the surface since it was so close, but it didn't, and that's okay. I don't remember what I was doing in there either. And fun fact, you can actually tip over your life pod a bit if you use another vehicle. I don't know if it works for the Seamoth, but I know it works for another certain vehicle. I think I did that just to get rid of the inventory space, and also because I had most of what I needed, so I didn't have to worry about me getting low on water or food. And let's see if there's anything around here. Final scrounge for materials to see if there's something that I can really use. Maybe there's something in here. And there's an exploding. That's a great start to our cave adventure. And my health has already dropped to almost half. So I probably should have gone back and went to go get a med kit, but I didn't. And that might be the death of me. I don't remember. But it could be. Very well could be. And it probably will be. So, I guess let's head back into the cave a third time. And these acid mushrooms, they're used for batteries and stuff. And another type of battery called a power cell, which powers the Seamoth. Limestone outcrop. Obviously, it's titanium. Great. My favorite resource, titanium. It's obviously. It's just a very common resource. And limestone chunks are the only place you can get it. And for people who don't play Subnautica, they're basically the coal or iron of Subnautica. The limestone chunks. And now, see, this is probably the end of me, since I could have gone back home to get air. And that's when I really should have gone back to get the medkit. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't go back to get a medkit. I knowingly went down there, knowing that I could probably die. And I think I do. I probably do, since that was a dumb decision. And there is probably another one of those exploding fish right by here. And I just realized that if I die, I'm gonna have to swim all the way back. And I think we're about like 106 meters out. I noticed it. Great! I'm not gonna get lucky enough to the point where I don't. lose everything. Well, yeah, you see what I mean? We had a bunch of titanium and lead and some silver on us, but all we have is one piece of gold. And that's me getting annoyed that I've lost everything, essentially. And now, see, that's when I smartened up and brought, what's it called? A make kit. Now, you see, I probably could have just swam over this cave, not had to worry about that, but no, I didn't. This will probably be the death of me, too. I don't think there's going to be any more exploding fish in the cave. I couldn't find the cave for a second there, and then I saw it. Alright, let's head back down. And I got distracted. Great. Probably should have gone back up for that. Just that bit of air. But no, I didn't. So, let's see this attempt to get my stuff back. There we go. My stuff fell from the sky. And you see all of that? I have to manually press A to pick that up. So that's just one bad thing. And... oh, started I? No, I didn't actually. These actually come in like packs of 3 or whatever. And I didn't actually stop scanning there on purpose. It just stops you from scanning when there's a bubble. Now, let's head back and get the rest of my stuff. Get those quartz. Let's take this limestone. Somehow, I got lost inside of the cave that I had just went in and came out of a couple of seconds ago. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I did. I don't even know how I ended up there. And that little pop-up, that was telling me that the drive core in the spaceship is probably going to explode. So that doesn't seem very good. That means, well, at least we got one extra thing this time. That's nice. At least we didn't lose pretty much everything again. I think we even lost the medkit. I don't remember. I didn't actually get a good look at that inventory. But I'm just heading straight back. I think this might be my third. Yeah, this is definitely the third time. No, the fourth time I've died this episode. So that's not very good at all. And this is probably one of the last attempts. This is where I was, I think. I think this is where I was. No. Because then all my stuff would be there. I was right there. Great, I was right at the entrance, too. I was pretty much right there.
Oxygen.
Get lost again, aren't I? Yep, I got lost again. Great. That's great. I actually saw the exit, and I'm telling you right now, I had to have gotten stuck on the roof of there because I panicked. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I really think it should just get dark a lot slower so that we can actually have some hope, some more hope of getting to the surface. Because once it goes pitch black, you have about like a 1% chance of getting to the surface or to somewhere where you can get oxygen. And what I just made there was an O2 tank, which allows me to have 75 oxygen instead of 45, which is a lot better and will most likely allow me to get my stuff back. And my flashlight's at, what, 41%? That's nice. See, I told you, I was right there. I guess I got stuck, like, right in the middle of it. That one split second of me not, of me getting stuck probably caused me to drown. So now this should be the final and only successful attempt at getting my stuff back, considering how much time we have left. And it's actually a much longer episode since, you know, all dying and getting my stuff back. But, you know, it's fine. I really enjoy this game. People probably won't watch the whole episode and just skip right through it, but that's okay.
New blueprint acquired.